to Piano Video Lessons Unit 3, Lesson 8 of Year 1. This is video number 40 on YouTube, and if you click on this information card, you can join us at PianoVideoLessons.com. So in this sheet, we are going to be learning to play the same exact pattern that we did with our right hand, but now we're going to play it with the left hand. So we're going to have a similar idea here. We're going to look for the skips or the thirds, and you're going to find that they're in the same exact places that they were in the first exercise. So here we have C to E. Space to space is a skip. Then we have line, space, line, going up, turn down, space, line, line. And then we have the skip from line to line, and then space, line, space, line, space, line, space. All those were neighbors. Space to space, that's a skip. So we have space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line to line, that's a skip. So here we have line, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, all neighbors. Space to space, another skip. Line, space, ooh, that's a high note. Line, space, lines, ooh, line to line, that's another skip. Line, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space to space, another skip. Space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, all neighbors. Okay, so in the first Hanon that we did, we opened up our hand after the first note by placing our second finger up a skip. And now this is fairly comfortable because we can really make a big distance between finger 5 and finger 2. You know, I can reach a whole octave with just those two fingers. I don't usually have to, but that's the biggest span I can make with my hand. It's harder to reach as far with these two fingers. I can only get a fifth, and with these two fingers I can pretty much get the same. This one, I'm lucky if I can reach a fourth. So what we're going to do in the left hand now is we're going to play this finger pattern, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's every finger in a row, just like in our in the Hanon from lesson 4. But what's going to happen now is the reach, this third, is going to happen after we play finger 5, before we play finger 4. So we're opening up here with two fingers that aren't used to really reaching apart from each other. So this is going to feel tricky, but we understand the concept because we've done it before. This will take more practice than the first one. So let's just try this first pattern here up to the second bar line. So we're going to start off with C, and then with our 4 we're going to open to E. And then we're going to do neighbor, 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 down, neighbor, neighbor. And then we close here, so we're going to land with D. So we closed. So let's do that again. 5, open 4 to E. Then neighbor, 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 close to neighbor, and then open 4. Neighbor, 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 neighbor. So let's write the fingering in on this one. The pattern is the same. It goes from 5 to 4 to 3 to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then each of these groups is going to start with 5. So you can go ahead and write a 5 underneath each of those first notes with the circles. So let's go ahead and try it now. I'm going to play the whole thing from the beginning to show you how it will go. Not too quickly. I'm going to play andante, a walking speed. After 4, I close with a neighbor and then I skip right away. Here I go, closing to F, skip with my 4. Closing my 5 to G, reach the 4, the skip, and down we go with 5 and reach. And down we go with 5 and reach. And C. Alright, so that was andante. We could play that again, and we could play it in moderato. So this isn't a particular speed, it's just a medium speed that's comfortable for the piece you're playing. It's not like traveling at a certain amount of miles per hour on the road. It's not a specific set speed, but more it needs to feel moderate and comfortable. last group. And there we have it. So once you've accomplished this in a really strong fashion, you could do it again, and this time you could play it allegro, quick and lively. So this feels very cheerful, and I'm still keeping my beats steady. Closing in and open, push. Closing in and open, push. And then A, C, push. And then B, D. Nice. Now, again, I want to remind you, my fingers are not flat like this when I play this. In fact, it's almost impossible to do these reaches with flat fingers. And you're also keeping a loose wrist, so as you play, there's some give here. You're not like keeping everything stiff as you play. You're going to get tension that way. Let all your fingers relax and just press down when it's their turn to play, trying to keep the non-playing fingers relaxed over the keys. All right, so practice that left hand, Hanon, and this is called ascending, just as the right hand was called ascending, because it's moving up the piano as it goes. All right. Join me in lesson number 9, where we're going to formally learn the interval of a fifth, and we're going to learn a piece of music with fifths.